Basically, competition it's normal for everything that tries to impact into people's life, entertain people, as well as make people happy. So competition in Nollywood is not really a bad omen, but I want to believe that if you see it from a positive angle, you're going to really make good use of it. And from inception, I didn't set out to compete with anybody, irrespective of the fact that I know it is a competitive environment. What I intend to do is, do I really belong to this clan? Do I really belong to this genre? Do I really belong to this profession? Do I have a latent? Do I have the natural ability to take out all these things? What is necessary to progress? And basically, ideas will never come fully. It will come gradually. So, and what I realize is that I need to learn from some people. No matter how competitive I find the environment, the onus is on me to know that some people are there before me, and they are, of course, knowledgeable than me, and I have to pay that homage, show the respect. So my competition is about trying to grow and improve on myself. So I wasn't really particular about getting better than any other person. So that was how I was able to sustain myself. Acting and making movies are two different things. Acting for filming, acting in natural life are two different things. Every individual that walks on the streets, sits in their various homes, they are acting. But acting for filming, it goes along with you understanding the terminologies, the procedures, and the way things are done to interpret into what is called a movie. So to me, acting is transnatural. It's something that it is not ordinary. You as an actor, you must be very deep in meditation. You must see yourself even as a spiritualist, because as an actor you are trying to interpret what perhaps is not even your way of life, what you will never even allow, what you can never accept, what is not even part of your belief. Take for instance, you are asked to come and act as a ritualist. Of course you're not a ritualist, and as an actor you have to make it look like you are a ritualist. It must look so believing, so true and so perfect. So it's beyond natural ability, natural things that people see. So that is acting. Filmmaking is also in the same line, but a filmmaker, there's no way a filmmaker will live that he or she will not live beyond his or her normal age, because the filmmaker talks about yesterday, today, and also tomorrow. I can have a fiction or I have an imagination, and to be honest with you, for a country to move forward, if a country is going to be really blessed in this day and age, most of the innovation, vision do come to filmmakers, because it will come to them, they visualize it and they put it out. Something that when Face Off was shot, it was shot in 1996, where we have John Travolta and Nicolas Cage doing facial transplants. But the truth of the matter is it was only in 2008 we had the first surgery, facial surgery in this planet. But somebody had that imagination that we could change faces, and it could help under science. So that is the role of a filmmaker. A filmmaker takes you back, engages you in the present, and also intimates you of what the future. A filmmaker sees beyond the ordinary. That is filmmaking. Filmmaking makes you see beyond the ordinary. Um, Basically, like I used to tell a lot of people, the only mentor I have is my mother. And till date, I have never seen my mother complain about anybody. And the last time I checked, she cares about everybody. She doesn't believe anybody doesn't like her. She doesn't complain about anybody. And hardly will people complain about her. I've never even seen it. My father, who is the closest person, find it very difficult to complain about my mother. So I grew up understanding that. And when I was being raised, my parents allowed me to go to some certain places. I used to go to National Orthopedic Hospital, and I would sit at the casualty. I'll go with my books, I'll be reading, and I'll be seeing how people with different problems are being brought down. Some people, the person that brought them, they don't even know them. They brought them, they run away. Some will stand and say, I will stand, I don't know this person, I found this person on the road, in an accident, I brought this person. I began to work as a volunteer with the porters, though I ended up enjoying it one time because when somebody had issues and I was called to meet the person at the casualty, they were not attending to that person. But when I arrived in the middle of the night, 2 a.m., they saw me with that person, say, what is wrong? How did it happen? Then they said, wow, is it your person? They gave a person that kind of help because they were like, you are here before you used to give free stuff. So when I got into the industry, it's the same thing. I realized this is an industry that a lot of people don't know that there is so much individuality. You might see us act together. Majority don't even know where each other lives. There is this kind of who you know, who you belong to, and I find I said, this is an industry that we naturally should show out examples of unity. We should show example of the fact that we have love amongst us. We should show example of the fact that we need to care for ourselves. But who will care? If you care too much, if you care for somebody who is not your contemporary, who is lower than you, the person will feel elevated than you. If you care for somebody who is above you, the person will think you're trying to use him or her to make fame. And in between all this, there is always going to be crashes. So I realized everybody is running away from that side. And we cannot be together like that as a family and not care about ourselves. So I decided I put it upon myself. Since 2004, I said, I'll be sacrificing. If I drop dead today, and every actors are allowed to come out and say one or two things, it's even far from what people are saying now. So it's a life of sacrifice, and that is the only way you can live. Without that is the only religion. Life of sacrifice. You must be able to care for other people. You cannot tell me you love God. You cannot tell me you're a Christian, you're a Muslim, you're a pagan, you're a traditionalist, and you cannot even care for your neighbor. I will not even respect your religion. Whatever religion you want to do, the first thing that needs to be reflexive is your ability to care for the next person. So I took it upon myself. I took the pain, the shame that will come along with it, the banters that will come along with it. I said, let it go on. I put through. And it still goes on. So it's what I choose to do. And it's not something you learn from somewhere. You must decide within yourself to do that. So, and I'm not regretting it. And the problem is I spend most of my time alone. And this is because in this day and age, if I'm not going to work, I don't like to mix up with people whereby I'll be influenced negatively. And along the line, I realized that the kind of concept that comes to my brain, the vision, the ability to put something down, initially before the social media age, if you come to wherever I live, I write a lot. I write when the concept comes, when the idea comes, when I feel somebody might need this word. It's an imaginary thing. You just imagine somebody needs this word. Somebody needs this particular statement. This might inspire somebody. It's just the way you want to do charity. You don't need to know who you want to do it for. Just go out and do good. So I realized some people will inbox me and tell me, I come to your page every minute because I want to read what you write. And I've seen a lot of intelligent people, because they write a lot. I am not going to be, it's just like I see myself in prison. When you're in prison, you write almost every minute because you are in your solitude, your solitary confinement, and then it keeps coming, and there is no way there's no idea you're going to have. If it is not printed down, if it is not written down, it's a waste of an idea. So instead of letting it go or wasting it, I can type fast, and when the idea comes like a concept and I was able to conjure the words together, I throw it out. Because the moment I die with them, I already lived a wasted life. No matter the ideas, the concepts, the vision, the quotes, I know somebody will pick one or two words and then use it in future or use it for themselves. So if it dies with me, I'm a waste, and I can die anytime. Anybody can die anytime. It is one of a life cycle of every human being. Death is involved. Check your life cycle. At any rate, death is involved. So you prepare as if you can die tomorrow. So don't hold anything back. Throw it out. Throw it out, provided you're not invading into anybody's privacy. So that's what I do. And basically, like I would say, we live in a nation whereby even from our elementary stage, only few people are opportune to understand or to be trained with duty of care. If your parents had not taught you to care for another person, when they see what I did, they will basically say it is for a selfish purpose. But when I realized my parents had never done anything for their own selfish purpose, they do it because it is the right thing to do. So people that have the kind of upbringing my parents have, that I have, would not reason that way. If somebody who is very close to you, somebody who takes a time to confide in you, a friend, a colleague, as an artist, whenever we travel out, whether we go for a premiere, to show films, to hustle, or to go on a visit, our intention is to return back home. We never pray to die there and not return home. Even if we die, we wish that somebody, the group we belong to, will make effort to return us back home. Now to somebody who died with a 2-month-old child, if we now decide, even if the family said, when the family said, you know what, we cannot just go through all this, let them just bury her there. And now we looked at it and said, she's our colleague, she's our friend. And you have to reason back that, what if it was on the reverse? If I die in America, die in London, die anywhere, Nigerians don't even understand what it means to bury somebody. Where the family will have the ability to go there and visit at their convenience. Burying is not just bury, you can't just bury. We don't even understand all that. You see, there is so many problems with our upbringing. We were not raised with duty of care. We were not taught to care for our neighbors. And when we see people do that, we quickly label it. It is killing the moral responsibility that we should do to ourselves. That should stop in this country. I'm not going to regret I'm a Nigerian. I'm not going to regret I was born in this clan. But when your parents did not raise you to care for the neighbor, a neighbor is shouting, oh, is that life? Would that kind of person tell me he's a Christian or a Muslim or a traditionalist? I don't care the religion you do, you are messed up. The first on the scale of preference, the onus is on us as colleagues to put our life, our everything on hold to ensure that we give her that befitting burial. Get her down. We never even expected that we're going to get the money from one source. If I say, people will say, baby, it's just saying. That moment, if it will take me to sell my car to get the body down, I'll do it. Because it doesn't make any sense. It does not make any sense. So what popularity will caring for your colleague brings to me? The worst it can give is goodwill. It cannot give me the attention my movie gave me in 2016. I shot Metomi. People saw it, they love it. I've been shooting films for the past 11 to 13 years. So why would anybody on earth think an actor who is working hard, who has got talent, and then leaving the filming side, showing care and concern, want to make popularity from that? If I sit back and say because of that I'm not going to show concern and get her down, would that even help the daughter that raised alarm that I want my mother to be brought home? She said it without even an idea of where the money or the help is coming from. So if we now listen and even give that request the deserved attention, is that seeking attention and popularity? Where would that one take anybody to? Am I not going to die? So live about, it's a figment of somebody's imagination. But I want to believe if it is on the other side, if it is in the Western world, this kind of question will not come up, because they know it is their duty. So when they see colleagues do that, they appreciate. It's a normal thing. Things like this are too normal for me. They are not an exercise to bring any other thing. It is a normal thing for me. What gives me attention and popularity are my movies, and that is where people know me from. Any other thing is an attachment. It's just, it's very rare. If there is anything that has happened, I want to believe I have invested the little name I have in getting this done. So I don't know where the publicity is coming from. I don't know if it's going to give me an ambassadorial position or something, but there's a way you do things right. The person that died is popular. We are trying to honor her, she's not going to tell us thank you. There's no way she will come back and say thank you. And some people would not even raise a finger to even support what we did. So when we did that, forgetting the fact that people involved are also popular in our own right. Is it Fetia Balogun that wants to gain popularity for doing that? I don't want to compare, but I still want to believe that caring for each other shouldn't mean or translate to search for popularity. It is the right thing to do. So if you're not doing it, please start doing it. Don't think about popularity is out of it. It's absurd. I don't buy such. Of course, she has been reunited with our immediate family, and she's doing fine. And by the grace of God, she will grow old. We will have pictures and videos of footages that when she grows old and wants to see, they will give it to her to see. Then she can reconnect to this moment. You know, those are part of the things we had in plan. So she's doing fine, like I said. And let's just keep praying for the family, keep praying for the children, and God will be with them. First and foremost, I had released a statement to that effect that, number one, the onus is not on us to decide for media houses the caption or the POS point of sales or the headlines. It is not proper. It is unethical for us to tell them. We won't even know when they are doing that. And it's so sad that people did not investigate properly before raising that rumor. There was no time that the management of Swagger TV and Biowa Films and Records said they are selling it on DVD, or there was any advert to that effect. You could have a cover for your video that you want to put on your portal, and then give it a title you think is going to attract your audience. But be that as it may, we made an appeal to the management that, can you please, we are not seeing it from that angle. Not everybody can see things the same way. And then few people that saw it raised their concerns, And then we were able to like appeal to them, can you just change the title where possible? We're not saying don't release the footage. Our thoughts and our intention is that media houses should come, take footage, use it to report and also celebrate the deceased, because she is worth celebrating. Everybody that come there to capture, whether from the conventional news agency, the bloggers, everybody is actually on different payrolls, and nobody has come there to say, I've come to capture this for charity. So the same thing applied to the person being accused. So the committee is not going to be going after somebody who has not really done anything malicious. And I don't really like sweating the small stuff. And I would not even want to use the death of my very good colleague to start fighting people. And that tells you at the end of the day that I am not even controversial. If I had been the one raising eyebrows, he's looking for fame, I want it stepped down. I want it toned down. Majority of the reactions that we've been able to were made to do are things that we normally would not even respond to. It didn't emanate from us, but people, some are voyeurs, some are deliberately seeking trouble, and they cause so many problems that we have to like respond, because we don't want anything that will dent our image, because we are volunteers, and then the only thing we owe the public is our dedication and trust. And if anybody is going to question or try to tamper with that, the onus is on us to quickly correct that, so that they will not create a different or wrong impression about our personality and also our dignity. So it has been sorted. We've been able to speak with the management, and they agreed to, one way or the other, change the title. But if you ask me, it's not really what people should. People talk a lot, and people that are not supposed to even, they just mess things up and make it too clumsy for us to attend to. A lot of people look at me as a very strange person. I, for one, I have utmost respect for all the media houses, for all the bloggers. It's not easy for somebody to sit, write stories about you. But people sometimes get too sentimental, and they forget the ethics of the job, and what they want to do is just pull him or her down syndrome. I don't support that. I get controversial when it gets to that stage. If you try that and it gets to me, we are all human beings. And the fact that you're on the other side holding the pen is not an excuse for you to hurt a brand. And every actor, every artist there will always try to, we are all human, we can't live like aliens. And then you can only feast what we do, our activities. Deliberately, sometimes some actors will just put up stuff for people to talk about, irrespective of the fact that they're going to get backlashed or stuff like that. When I say criticism, I respect them. When people give comments, I respect them. But I have been able to differentiate between public opinion, facts, and trolling. If you come or I read anything that has to do with abuse, insult, hate speech, pulling down syndrome, intentional negative journalism, they don't make sense to me. Is either I ignore it or I make sure I let them know I am human and I'm going to reply you in my own little way. But to be honest with you, the best one can do to search is to just ignore. Most of these things, they don't really get to us. If I see any stuff people are writing, and the fact remains that this is social media age. Your neighbor could even create a fake account and start talking. I can't live perfectly. If I drop a piece of paper on the floor, the next thing the neighbor will go and use a different account and start attacking me, saying stuff like that. I cannot live my life around all that. I can't be looking back to all sort of things. I listen to constructive criticisms. If I read them, I see it is useful to me, I'll listen to it. If I see it is just pure hate, an attack or a deliberate attempt to bring me down, that is your duty. That is what you have come to do. Go on with it. I'll go on my own job. So that's the way I deal with criticism, except it is a criminal attempt to bring me down. We meet in court. I don't give room for that kind of nonsense. If you do shit about my name that I built for so long, and you're not careful about, you're not following the ethics of the job, if you think you find anything about me and you have your proof and your facts, hold on to it, release it. I could even be happy. I will even call you to say thank you, even if it is a negative one. It's your job. I'm not going to stop you from doing that. But when it is not your job, no facts, nothing, you just pick up on something that is not ethical. Even before we get to court, we might have even broke our heads, because I don't have time for such things. You can't just sit in the corner of your house and say you want to bring me down. Names that I've used for so long. So if everybody is careful doing their job, whether it is criticism or critics, everybody is playing their role. I will appreciate everybody. So that's me. Yeah, I've been able to put a transition for myself, and I shot a few movies, and I'll be releasing them out gradually, and because I'm trying to look for an opportunity to form artificial scarcity. You know, you cannot be out there every time. So if you are in for this game, if fame, popularity is not coming to you as a surprise, or something you forced your way into it, you have a timetable for yourself. You will know when to say, let me relax a bit, let me snail in, and then put my head out later on. So I've got a couple of films. I have Father Moses is still coming on DVD. I have Agbedemeji. I have Crossroad, and I'm going to be shooting Journey to My Roots very shortly. Those ones, they are films that I'll be releasing at intervals to keep up with my fans and viewers and admirers. So they're going to love them because they're different concepts. So that is what I've been doing, producing and acting before I take a sabbatical leave and stuff like that. I'm still married. I'm not divorced. I don't know. So until I find somebody, because to be honest with you, I decided I wanted to quit the marriage because everything we do in this life, we want to be happy. That is the bottom line. The height of everything anybody does is to be happy. And if at a point I realize my marriage is not giving me the kind of happiness I want, I believe I'm an adult, I should be able to take a walk. But in this instance, I decided to take a walk, and I was to initiate the divorce. But divorce is not done by one person. So I was able to speak with my wife, and then to my utterance dismay, her reaction was very subtle. She regretted the lapses and the loopholes in the marriage, and then we're still trying to look at it. If we're going to get the divorce going on, it's also very costly. And that is why it is very important one should think before going into court marriage, because the divorce is not always easy. Even if you have the money to process it, how are you sure the judge will even assent to your divorce? And so I can only say I'm in limbo. I'm still married with the intention to divorce, but my wife, we are not at loggerheads. We are not quarreling. We talk, we relate. She is not really down for the divorce, to be honest with you. And then we're still talking. I think probably in July or something, she's coming to Nigeria. I'm going to be sending her an invitation today or tomorrow. She will be coming to Nigeria. She still wants us to talk about it, and I just need to pour out my mind to her, because it wasn't very easy living alone and stuff like that. So if it doesn't work out, if she comes around and we talked about it and we reached a compromise completely, and I'm able to fund the divorce, then I'll be thinking about remarrying. But for now, it is illegal, it is criminal for me to say I am divorced when I am not. I only put out intention to divorce. So, and that is what I can say about that. My advice is this. You need to first of all discover yourself before anybody discover you. And if you cannot discover yourself and you're being discovered, take your time to understand the nitty-gritty of that industry. Develop yourself. Be humble. Research. Practice. And understand the fact that patience is key. Everybody has got his or her own time. There is no new face today that will not have his or her own fans. And that tells you that you will definitely have your own people and your own time. Don't be too much in a hurry. Respect those you find in front, because as an actor, there is no way you can unilaterally become a star on your own without tapping from who had been there. No matter, even if later on